Hey guys, NASCAR Mode 40 back again, and welcome back to another tier list episode. And this one is from, well, it's kind of a review episode because in this video, I'm going to be like going back in review. Like, this is a halfway point part of the season review. We're going to go back and look at this tier list right here, is which I made at the beginning of the Truck Series season when the Truck Series season started. I think I made this after I believe it was the Daytona Road Course, and Ben Rhodes already had 2 wins, and ever since then he hasn't won again. But still, I made this to make a review to see how am I doing so far. Like, this is just a halfway point part of the season. I was gonna make it today. I know it's like 9:56 when I'm filming right now. I'm sorry, I just had a bad week right now. My brother's in the hospital as we speak, and so I'm hoping he's fine. He already had surgery. It's just that I just wanted to come home and stuff. So that's something that's going on in my life. So that's why I didn't film earlier, because that was just stuck in my mind. But when I have the Truck Series practice and the race and the Xfinity Series practice, that can help clear my mind and stuff, trying to get something off my mind and stuff, because it's just too sad for me. But anyway, let us go ahead and get into this video based off of last time. We're going to be comparing it to the Truck Series point standings, or the playoff standings right now. So let's go ahead and start off with some drivers that are not doing so good in 41st. So if we look at the 6th car, that is, I believe, Norm Benning. I'm not sure. I think Norm Benning's like 47th in the standings right now. I believe so. So we already got that one wrong. So I just need it. Actually, I'm gonna keep a tally. Keeping a tally is gonna see how I'm doing so far. Next up, you have Jennifer Jo Cobb, and I believe she's like 32nd in the standings right now. Like, she's like in front of like Spencer Davis, but behind Cody Robaugh. So 32nd in the standings, that's not bad. So that's technically mid-pack, so I also got that one wrong. Next up, Austin Wayne Self has really impressed me in that 22 truck. It all started at Daytona when they got that good finish, because right now they're currently 12th in the standings. Well, technically the playoff standings right now. So that's very impressive and stuff. So wow. And also, I guess this was a typo. It says 13th to 22nd. I was thinking of the Xfinity Series, so it should say 11th to 22nd. So let's go ahead and change that. So right now, Austin Wayne Self looking pretty good so far, currently in the Truck Series. Oops, I messed something up. Alright, anyway, back to what I was saying. Then you have the 28 car, I believe. So the 28 truck actually does not count because it's not technically a full-time ride, but it is still going to be running some races, because I think believe it's like Brian Dawzat. I don't know how to say his name. Dawzat, his last name Dawzat, I think, but I don't think he's made a start yet, I believe, so we're not going to count him. Next up, you have the 30 truck, of course, and I believe driving the 30 truck was like going to be split between like Danny Bond and like Michelle Abbey, who made that start at Coda, and then Brennan Poole, who's made a start. I believe he got a good finish at Texas, but let's just go with Danny Bond for now. I'm just guessing, and I believe he's like 24th in the standings, so that's actually not that bad. So wow, I'm getting a lot wrong so far, guys. And next up, we have like the 33 that's split between Jason White, Jesse Iwuji, Kanori Agata, and then Myatt Snyder right now. Out of those guys, I believe who's the highest between those 4? I'm not really sure. I believe it's Jesse Iwuji. Actually, I don't even think he's in the top 50 in the standings. I have no idea. So we're not going to count that either, because that's split between those 4. Now let's move on to the mid-pack. Alright, so we're not going to count the 51 truck because the green 51 truck, I believe it's Drew Dollar, and I think Drew Dollar's like 36 in the standings. So wow, I don't know what I was thinking after the Daytona Road Course. I have no idea what I was on. But now, next up, the 02 car, which is being split by Chris Wright and Kaz Gralla. Chris Wright, I believe, is currently 30th in the standings, so that's about accurate. And then Kaz Grala is 34th in the standings, which is a bit odd, but we'll just go with that. Next up, you have Jordan Anderson in the 3 truck, and for this one, for that yellow cheese-looking truck, I don't know. I'll just say it's Bobby Roos. So I believe Jordan Anderson's like 44th in the standings. Dang, I really feel bad for him. And then Bobby Roos, I don't even think he's in the top 50, so we're not going to count him either. Corey Roper from that finish at Daytona has really impressed me. Even Chase Briscoe ran some races in the 04 truck. I think he only ran like maybe 1 or 2, but Corey Roper is currently 28th in the standings, so I got that right technically if you think about it. And the 12 truck run by Tate Fogelman, I believe Fogelman has to be like, he's in the top 20. He's like 19th, so I got that one wrong. Wow. And then in the 20 truck, we have Spencer Boyd. You can't forget Spencer Boyd, the truck series driver that looks like Danny B from Danny B Talks, but still right here with the 20 truck, I believe he's in 26 in the standings, so that's about right. So I'm kind of getting this, guys, because this is only my second time watching the truck series season full time, so you got to give me a bit of an excuse. We're not going to count the 41 truck. I believe that's Dawson Cram. I don't even think he's in the top 50 if I think about it. Oh no, actually he's in 27th. I remember. Oh, so I guess technically right. So I'm okay with that. 56 trucks are not in the top 20 as well. I mean, well, they're not full time. That's what I meant. So if you have Timmy Hill, Tyler Hill is 50th, and then Timmy Hill is about 29th. So I got that right. So technically, we have that part down. Now let's move on to the just missing out on the playoffs part. So just missing out on the playoff standings, we have Johnny Sauter, who I have currently 11th, and he is technically right now 11th in the playoff standings, so I got that one right. Christian Eckes in that green and gray 98 truck. Christian Eckes is, I believe, 22nd in the standings, so I got that one right too. And then Grant Enfinger is, I believe, 20th in the playoff standings as well. So that is also about right. Chase Purdy, I don't know why I put him in just missing. Well, I mean, Chase Purdy, he's 18th, but he's not running so good. So yeah, so Chase Purdy is currently like 18th in the playoff standings, so that's not looking good. But don't get me started with Rafael Lessard. He's still 21st in the standings. He's still 21st. Oh, he has like about 150 points, and of course you know about the sponsorship issues he's had. I've seen on his Instagram he's been running some modified races and stuff, since he's not in the 24 truck, but currently running in the 24 truck is Jack Wood, I believe, and he will starting, I believe, after Nashville, he's going to be running full time in the truck for the rest of the season, and right now he's like 43rd in the standings, so just give some time. But right now that just sucks for Rafael Lessard. Next up, Tyler Ingram, currently 13th in the standings, so I got that one right too. You just have to think about these mid-pack drivers who, they're good, but they're not great. They're not playoff contenders if you think about it. Next up, we have Derek Kraus, and I don't know actually, where is Derek Kraus? Is he in the top 10? Dang, I actually don't know for Derek Kraus. Oh, no, wait, he's 14th in the standings, so yeah, we got him. Haley Deegan, who had such a great run at Texas, had to come back, make a second pit stop. They put them like 6 laps down. They did not get the finish that they deserved. They had a top 10 truck all day, so that really sucks for them. And they were running, and they were like in the top 14 in the standings, but then because of that Texas race, they now fall down to 16th in the standings, which is, I said, about accurate. They have some potential because every race they just have gotten better and better and better. So watch out for them on these mile halves. So I can't wait to see what she can do at Nashville Super Speedway tomorrow night, because she's technically going to be having practice and qualifying, so that's definitely going to help her. Next up, we have Tanner Gray, 17th in the standings, right behind Haley Deegan, so I technically got that right too. They're just right here, 2 teammates right here. And now we have the 40 truck, Ryan Truex, 15th in the standings, so that's about accurate. Carson Hocevar exceeded my expectations. He's in the top 10 in the standings. He's ninth in the playoff standings right now. Carson Hocevar definitely has exceeded my expectations in this 42 truck because really going into the season, I did not see Nice Motorsports having a good season because Nice Motorsports' best season overall was 2019. Ross Chastain had a few wins. Some of the other drivers I don't think Natalie Decker was running for Nice. I think she was running for KBM. I don't know, but or some Toyota team. I don't know. But next up we have the 44 truck right here, and driving the 44, I believe. I'm sorry, guys. Driving the 44 truck. It was like between like Jet Nolan, Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson and stuff, and James Buescher, but we're not gonna count that truck neither. But if we had to say Ross Chastain, I feel like he would be in the top 50, but I'm looking at the playoff standings to my side, guys, and I don't see him in there, probably because of that disqualification from Texas, because he finished third in that race. I don't know, but still, next up we have the 51 truck. Once again, this one is like Kyle Busch and stuff. This one has Kyle Busch in it, and Kyle Busch is not in the standings because he's not contending for the championship, so we can't count him either. So there we go. Those are the drivers just missing. I have some of them right, one of them exceeding my expectations. Now let's move on to the playoff section. Alright, so the two drivers that I had being eliminated in the first round, in the round of 10, were Todd Gilliland and Stuart Friesen. They're probably going to do better than that, because Stuart Friesen, at first he was running really solid at the beginning of the season, but now recently he's been having races where he's running pretty good, but then he's wrecking and stuff. So that's the issue right there, because they're currently 8th in the standings. They have like 302 points, so that's a pretty good cushion right now. They're the 300-point range. So we'll just see. They're 8th in the standings. We're only halfway through the season and stuff, so you got to give them time. But Todd Gilliland has really exceeded my expectations, because I thought he was going to be eliminated in the round of 10 because he did not really run that well in 2020, and he was having a fight for that position. But now he won at COTA. He's currently 3rd in the playoff standings with his one win, 361 points, I believe. So watch out for Todd Gilliland, guys. He's an underdog coming into these playoffs. Now moving up to the round of 8, we have Austin Hill, Brett Moffitt, Ben Rhodes, and Chandler Smith. First up with Austin Hill. Austin Hill running like himself, but he is right now 5th in the playoff standings. He's the highest Truck Series driver right now who does not have a win, and he's out in the round of 8. So I kind of have him being like 5th. That's what I'm kind of looking at for Austin Hill, because I think that's how he was last year. Or I think it was Matt Crafton who was 5th. I don't know. Next up, Brett Moffitt. We all know Brett Moffitt has decided to go full-time in the Xfinity Series and not the Truck Series, but that's what I was kind of thinking of, because really, if going into the season, I thought Brett Moffitt was going to run full-time in the Xfinity Series and run he was going to run full-time in both series, but only compete for the championship in the Xfinity Series. That's what I always thought he was going to do, but no, he decided to run for the championship in the Truck Series. In Nice Motorsports equipment, I would not take that risk, in my own opinion. And I believe Brett Moffitt is dang, I don't know where he is, but it doesn't say he's on the playoff standings, probably because he's not competing for the championship anymore. So yeah, I don't see Brett Moffitt, but that doesn't matter and stuff, so we could just take him away. So that means there's an extra spot in the playoff standings right now, and I believe that spot goes to Carson Hocevar, like I said, who is 9th in the standings. With the playoff standings. Ben Rhodes, 2nd in the playoff standings right now. I see him getting out in the round of 8 because he's had a hot start to this season, but now he could fall off the pace and stuff because he's had some okay runs here and there, so things can change, but we'll see what happens to Ben Rhodes. And Chandler Smith currently above the cut line with 254 points. He has a 9-point cushion to Johnny Sauter in 11th right now, so Chandler Smith, we'll see what he can do, but I feel like I kind of put him a bit too high because he's not won a race yet, so that's going to be an issue right there. And now to the Final Four, the drivers who I thought weren't going to win the championship but make the Final Four, Sheldon Creed, Zane Smith, and Matt Crafton. But before we get to that, I want to talk about GMS said they're going to go Cup Series racing. I don't know what it exactly is. Are they going to just get a Cup car and run a couple races? Are they going to go full time or something like that? That's what I'm thinking. Or they're just gonna run like one race or something. I don't know and stuff. But if they were going to pick a driver, I would want to say Zane Smith, because Zane Smith, he has 2 wins in the Truck Series. He doesn't have a win yet this year. And then he's run some Xfinity Series races for Junior Motorsports, so he could go into the Cup Series probably. Full time, I wouldn't say he'd go full time, but part time, he'll probably drive most of the time, or for the one race if they run just one race. And then Sheldon Creed, I could see Creed doing that, but I feel like this would probably be Creed's last season in the Truck Series, and then he'll probably move on to the Xfinity Series. But here's the problem: you don't really have any more Chevrolet teams in the Cup Series. I mean, in the Xfinity Series. In the Xfinity Series, other than Brandon Built and Junior Motorsports, and probably another that I'm forgetting right now. Or we could see John Hunter Nemechek drive for GMS, because technically, if you think about it, he does have some Cup Series experience. He's probably going to win the championship for the Truck Series with his 3 wins already, or no, 4 wins actually. And if you technically think about it, this is facts. He was the last driver to drive for GMS in Xfinity in the 23 car. He did get a win he didn't get a win for them, but he already has an Xfinity Series win at Kansas back in 2018 for Chip Ganassi. So we'll see. I'm not sure, but I'm looking at probably the top 3 would be Zane Smith and Sheldon Creed. Maybe give a call to John Hunter Nemechek, because you're not going to give it to Chase Purdy, you're not going to give it to Tyler Ankrum, and you're not going to give it to whoever the frick drives the 24. But yeah, back to the standings. Sheldon Creed currently 1 win to his name, 4th in the standings right now. He got that win at Darlington, 341 points in the good right now. He's already locked in. Sheldon Creed has been good, but he's just had some bad luck and stuff. I mean, like, even before his win, he was up there, but just wasn't competing for the win. But Charlotte and Texas, he had those. But Charlotte, you could see he had that win, but then contact with Todd Gilliland took him out of the race. And then, I don't know, Texas being Texas, Sheldon Creed just spun out twice and wrecked and stuff. So some bad luck on their side. And it's weird. Ever since they got that new sponsor for the 2 truck, they just had bad luck. So hopefully we don't see that at Nashville. So let's just hope that he doesn't wreck in practice and has to go to a backup. Next up, Zane Smith, currently 6th in the standings, does not have a win yet. He's the 2nd highest driver who does not have a win in the standings right now. Zane Smith's had a good season, a solid season. I'm not sure if he'll get a win. He'll probably get 1 win or something, but we'll just have to see, because Zane Smith's been running pretty solid. So we'll see what he can do in Nashville. And then Matt Crafton. Matt Crafton's also had a good season. He's running 7th in the standings. I do feel like he's going to get up there, because I think it's going to be Hill versus Crafton and maybe Ben Rhodes for that Final Four spot, because you have Martinsville as the final race before the Championship 4, and Austin Hill is terrible, and I mean terrible, at short tracks. His only good short track would have to be Richmond. He's pretty decent at Richmond, but he's terrible at Bristol, and he's terrible at Martinsville. But the Martinsville race, he just had an issue with the truck, so that took him out. But still, Matt Crafton, I do have some high hopes for him, so it'd be cool for him. And then finally, I'm sticking with my championship pick, John Hunter Nemechek. I'm currently right now. He's 1st in the standings, 498 points, almost to 504 wins this season. He won the season over at Daytona. He won at Las Vegas, beating Kyle Busch. He won at Richmond, beating Kyle Busch again, and then he won last week at Texas over 2 Cup Series regulars, Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain. So I do have JHN still going for the championship. So right now, I seem a bit right. I'm just missing 1 driver in the top 10, and that's Brett Moffitt, and that's only because he opted out and stuff. And I was wrong about Carson Hocevar. He's like the number 1 driver has exceeded my expectation expectations the most. Todd Gilliland, I think I said he would get at probably one win or just point his way in, and he got a win. So it's going to be different, but right now my top 10 seems to be right now. But if we're talking win wise, it's iffy. But anyway, that's gonna end it here. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. This is my recap, or my halfway point review, like going back in review for the truck series, my predictions of the season. Right now it's kind of right. I do have Nemechek up in first in the championship spot. He does look like the champion right now. Heck, he's my pick for Nashville. So yeah, that's gonna end it here. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. My next halfway point review will be next week for the Xfinity series, where we take a look at the Xfinity series, my Xfinity series tier list, and see how I'm doing so far, because that will technically start after the Nashville race. So yeah, I can't wait for that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll have the Nashville race review up on Sunday evening, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day, and yeah, peace out.